In this video, I'll explore the idea of a Jewish conspiracy. Is there a Jewish conspiracy? For the purpose of this video, I will not take a side in the argument. I'll just explore the more damning facts, and I'll ask the Jewish community to address these facts in the comments if they would be so kind to present a viable counter-argument. Okay. So we have Sumer, the sum, right? The sum total. Ear, okay? Phonetics, Phoenicians, phones, sound. Can I have your phone number? It all connects together, interestingly enough. Okay? So the most logical conspiracy I see is the idea of the Sumerians having clashed with the Egyptians and betrayed the martial art order in the first dynasty family. Okay, they migrate away, the only place they can go. Over time, they're very much getting attacked by here. They're getting attacked from the inside, and they're getting attacked by the Sea Peoples, the Romans, the Vikings, the Vandals, eventually. Okay, the Assyrians, the Persians, the Babylonians, the Hyksos, back before in the pre-dynastic era. Certainly they had clashes with the Sumerians and so on and so forth. Okay. So what we see is eventually the guys from Crete, they rewrite to some degree the mythologies and the stories of Zeus. And they make them homosexual with Ganymede and so on and so forth. They become the dominant force. Athens, one of their popular centers, becomes dominant. People like Mercury have to do with drugs and merchandise. And Miarch, the word, Merc and Mark are all connected. Okay, language, Norse, and so on and so forth. This is where we get the mark of the beast. Okay, all this is sound. It checks out. And then it starts becoming slightly questionable. Okay, and I'm not going to take a side in this. And this is the idea where the Romans, okay, start impregnating Jewish women. This is a very key point in the conspiracy, because as the story goes, all roads lead to Rome, okay? And the Jews were there captive under the Romans, who were very sexually inclined, orgies, and they didn't miss attractive women. We see this in many movies, in many stories, in many historical documents. It says these guys were sex cult guys who pressured the local population into sex. We see at least some Jewish people who were, from the higher classes, the more wealthier classes, having intermarried with the Romans. Okay, so to what degree did this occur becomes where it gets a little bit hazy. Well, one thing's for sure, they did intermarry. And the Romans, I don't think there's any viable counter-argument for this part. The Romans bred with the local Jews who by that time were getting lighter and lighter. They're basically Ethiopians who over time were getting lighter and lighter. Since Chaldea, when the Ethiopian-like people had dominated the Middle East, eventually, you see the Akkadians and the Assyrians and all these groups start fighting with them in the Mesopotamia and so on and so forth. Okay, Asiatics clashing them with them to some degree. And eventually they're getting lighter and lighter. By the time they get to Rome, okay, the Romans are making them whiter through breeding. All right. So what is the New World Order? Well, it has to do with magic spells, right? History is written by the winner. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. It wasn't the written word, it was the spoken word. Now, who used phonetics, phony? Who confounded speech? One version is the Elohim represents different gods, and it was actually the devil who confounded speech for the purpose of confusion. It was Set and An, the deity of the sky in Sumer. The devil, confusion, storms, evil, sexual immorality, the principles of evil in general, the god of foreigners and trade routes. These are the trader token people of the Jewish race who collaborated all throughout history with the foreigners. It happened with the Havarian Agreement in World War II. It happened with the Romans. It happened in their own story of, in the Old Testament, right? These foreign groups of people who are in sex cults with the Jews. It happened when they split up in the New Testament fighting against Jesus. Okay, it happened with the split of the kingdom of Judah and the kingdom of Israel. Okay, and basically after Solomon falls victim of his sexual impulses, these kingdoms are formed. Okay. Saul, Jesse, David, all these names are significant. All right, so it is a new secular world order. The New World Order, by default, is not religious in the sense that they believe in one God or many gods in terms of actual beings. These people believe in themselves. They are the sex cult continuity of the ancestors that they worship. They worship. Warship. They're on board. Shipmate, teammate, kingship, leadership, ownership, overlordship, and so on and so forth. Birth, semen, Enki, the deity of semen. And of course, we have Lucifer, which is a play on words for Lucifer, Luciferian, Luciferian, Luciferi, ear-I-in. Aryan being the noble class of a lot of these satanic groups like the Assyrians, as the story goes, and in India, when these other groups of people enter there. Okay. Loki for. Lucky for. Loki fair. Loki, like Enki, a deity of mischief, who wants to superimpose his patriarchal line on the Jews, on the Ethiopians, on the women who used to breed with the martial art order to some degree, and the most attractive of them would more likely go to these people. This is where we get Prometheus, who's promised to who? God gave the attractive women to the martial art order. So to steal from the gods. And there's also all kinds of wordplay that has to do with intelligence and bit shit like that. This is associated with Prometheus, and that also goes back to Enki, who's a deity of knowledge, crafts, and intelligence, which is this female brain intelligence. And to make a long story short, Yah is law, Y-A, youth authority, Y-A, right? Little children saying, why the alpha male, acting like bitches, and law, lie, who lays with who. Okay? I suggest you watch this twice. There's a lot of information. I suggest you pause it every so often and write these things down. You can explore them. You'll see that I'm right. Okay, so these people in the New World Order are best described, listen very carefully, as atheistic Satanists. Then they put their Luciferian minions out there. Luciferians are the guys who smooth things over and live in a disassociated state of mind. Satanists are the guys who operate on the higher levels behind the scenes and see things for exactly what they are and have satanic sex fetishes, sexual sadists. Okay, these are atheistic Satanists. Novus Ordo Seclorum, a new secular order. Is it incompatible with the principles of America? No. America was founded by secularists who had a global vision. The first war that they were fighting in the Revolutionary War was against people who were colonizing, and they knew they couldn't compete with them unless, wait for it, they too took on a colonial attitude. If your enemies collaborate with every country in the world or many countries, and you just say, we're nationalists and we're not going to go there, what happens to you? America was founded as a globalist puppet republic. That part cannot be avoided. How much they're collaborating with England is a little bit hazy, but one way or another, the logical assumption here is white supremacy, and then it gets a little hazy as in terms of the Jewish role. Okay. But there's an abundance of evidence which strongly suggests it is a Jew world order. News rhymes with Jews, eugenics, jewgenics, pan, who looks like a Jew, is where we get the word pun. Pan and pun. Panic. Rhyme and quote-unquote reason. They're not reasonable. We're talking about the reason they're doing this. And right there in the word reason, we have Ea, son. And Ea is another name for Enki. Remember, like Loki, he's a deity of mischief. Now, who is elevated as smart, right? Mischief and intelligence goes hand in hand. He's so smart. We have Tesla, who resembles a magician. We have Einstein and countless Jews like Freud. Why are they seen as smart? Yeah. I mentioned the white skin is very suspicious. Amos 9:7. Are you not as the children of Ethiopia unto me? And why are you white? Is it your patriarchal line that is white? Or is it your matriarchal line? Are you more like white people? Or are you more like Africans with morality? Do you not know them by their works? Is sin not a moon temple? Is the moon not white? Is it not described as the pale moon? Does the sun shining on people not make them black? The Masons, who are said to be affiliated with the Jews, with the conspiracy theorists who connect the little stars on the dollar bill to make a 6-point star. They talk about the hex and the hexagram and a magic, magic hex spell. Okay, they talk about commonalities. We look at the satanic breeding. What is it? What does satanic breeding produce? People who are afraid to stand up for pure morality. And at the top of the list is giving the most stigmatized people their rightful places. Not just some food to eat. Why are you stigmatized in a world where Satan is the god of this world and blinds people using their cowardice? My family, my job, my bitch. Okay? Think about it. News, Jews, eugenics, jewgenics, Jew-gene-I-C. Sell, to sell you out, syllables, parables, Bible, ball, bail, the bowl that covers this lot. The world set is a play on words for shit. And that goes back to the Phoenician Canaanite system, where Canaan, it was where Sodom and Gomorrah are, where we get the word sodomy. And before Vaseline, what did they do? I don't mean to disgust you, but when you look up pederastry and how the war arts, Mars is a pedophile deity of turning little children out and pretending they're great warriors like the Spartans. They would give them no food, go out and trying to find your way. They steal, they get caught, they get raped in the ass. They'd come, can I have some food? Some fucking homosexual Greeks would plug them right in the ass. This was part of their culture. This was their application of pederastry, which is basically socially normative pedophilia. Satan is the great deceiver. What is the most calculated and quote-unquote worthwhile deception? Jewish. Right there in the word wish. What do men wish for? What do Roman sex cults who have taken on the identity of Jews by kidnapping their women wish for? Jews in Jaws. Jesus was a fisherman. Was he a shark? Wage. Okay, we get the word wage. When you go Jew, backwards, interchangeable vowels, vowel to L, we get the word wage. Remember, phonetics, sounds, vowels to L. Ra! Remember verses eek, right? Eek the geek, right? Greek, geek, bitch. Beta scrambled is beast. So when we take the word Jewish backwards, the H is offensive, it can be removed. We get see, say, so, wage. So you see, you say, ear I in, okay, based on wage. We can take every female, every man, woman, and child who makes a provider-based argument when we consider breeding and development, okay, and drop them in the synagogue of Satan bitch box. You're a bitch. You're a handout. Please, Mr. Devil, give me the bread of this world type of pussy. Punk ass motherfuckers. Jewish is also a play on words for G-ish. There was no J for the last, they came later. So it's a play on words for G-wish. Just like Jesus is a play on words for G-says, because the people who worship this world, because they think with their sex cult bitch, wants you to look toward the social orders of this world. Social order, New World Order, connected. Scott Atkins, Van Damme, crypto Jews, an abundance of evidence. The Romans are metaphorically reptilian Jews because they have shape-shifted through breeding with cowardly, ditzy, airhead bitches. Think about it. Who could do such a thing to their ancestors' sacred culture, if not sniveling, half-wit sluts? The social control is evil breeding. Desensitization is evil. Zombie effect. Okay. Now I'll put a lot of this in the comments. Let me just wrap it up with these 4 key points. Number 1, rape called energy in the atmosphere, the vibes, the feelings. Number 2, natural reflexes. Number 3, the aggressive animal example. You don't need a sixth sense. Six is Latin in Latin is sex. It's a sex sense. This rape cult, motherfuckers, you're supposed to feel anxious if you're human. Number 4, the vampire bar example. If you walk into a bar full of vampires and you don't feel anxious, you're a sick fuck. That's why the world is sick, because they're like fish in their demon water and comfortable.